Page 12, Largo. It's a very famous melody from a symphony by Dvorák. I encourage you to go listen to the symphony. Just search on New World Symphony and listen to the whole thing. In this lesson, they're introducing us to the key of B flat major. B flat major has two flats. You see the two flats in the music, that's key signature. Well, the flats are always in the same order. It's a different order than the sharps are in, but it's still, for flats, it's the same order. The first flat in a key signature is always a B, B flat. The second flat is always an E flat. So once you understand the order and you know what they are and you can do the scales, you'll have to worry about which notes are flatted now. You're just playing that key and you've got it. So it's time to do the scale on B flat major, one octave up and down, learn the scale. It's a little strange now because it's starting on a black key. You're starting on a B flat here. So it's all the white keys except you have B flats and E flats. So that's it. So it's a little strange on how it's fingered, but it's all in the scale video. I explained just one octave, just learn the scale. That teaches you which notes are in, which black keys are being used in the key signature and so forth. I trust you know the names of the notes in the music. If you don't, you really need to be drilling yourself because you need to know the names of these notes pretty much instantly. Yeah. Let's look this over. It's 2 lines long, treble bass clef, 2 flats in the key signature. As I said, it's in the key of B flat major. 4/4 time signature, and I see dotted rhythms, quarter notes, half notes, whole notes. It's all there. Let's take it one hand at a time and make sure we understand what each hand is doing. Starting with the right hand, they want third finger on the D here. And for the most part, you're really not moving around. You're right here in this position. So you don't need any of these other finger numbers. Please don't be reading finger numbers. You need to learn to read the notes because your fingers are not always going to be on those notes. They're going to start moving around. And if you can't read the notes, you're lost. So at the beginning, it's 1 and 2 and 3. And that dotted rhythm. Again, hopefully you understand dotted rhythms. If not, you need to go back to wherever they were introduced and work on them. They're not difficult. Just briefly, the quarter note gets a count, a full count. Nothing else can happen in beat 1 because the quarter note takes up the whole beat. So that dot comes on beat 2. And the dot is the same as an 8th note because the dot gets half the value of the note. And half the value of a quarter note is an 8th note. So it's the same as an 8th note in this case. It comes on beat 2. So the other 8th note, the 8th note you see there is on the and of 2. So it's 1 and 2 and 3. Or quarter note dot. However you want to count it, there are different ways of looking at it. And second measure, same rhythm. 1 and 2. Now, even with fat fingers, go ahead and slide up here. Because then as you come back to the next measure, you can come back out. Don't stay up here. Come back, stay out here as much as you can. Only go up within the black keys when you have to. So it's okay. Left hand, well, let's see. We got a B flat and an F because we're in this position. And together. And that's tied for 2 measures. You can hold that down for 8 counts. And then you have a B flat and an E flat. That's okay, and that's tied in this fun. Next line, back to the F, and then the half notes. 1 and 2 and... That's fine. Now we try to put the hands together and see what happens. Well, I'm liable to hesitate all over. I don't care. I just want to know which fingers are working together. So we're here. The left hand's tied. Now this... These notes, the left hand's tied. Okay, let's go to the second line, last 2 measures. We're here, then here. So once you have an idea of the hands working together, then you go back over any trouble spots and work them out. Then go through it and make sure there's no hesitations anywhere. The beat is, our pulse is a steady pulse throughout the whole thing. Once I do that, I think about the articulation. They're not giving us any articulation. Isn't that nice? Basically, you can treat each line here, every 4 measures, as a sentence. So you just connect it. Then lift up just a little lift. It's like taking a breath. And then play the second line. Connect. The left hand, you just connect it as best you can. You can't connect these, but do the best you can. You can connect the half notes. You can connect those though. Now once I have the articulation out of the way or under control, then I think about the dynamics. P is piano for soft, and that's the melody here. Whatever you think soft is. Then you get the arrows to go up to about a moderately soft, back down. The left hand, how soft can you play these? Just very light. Try and get them down at the same time, just lowering the whole hand. I'm letting the wrist collapse a little bit. Very light. The second line, they don't give you any dynamic. Well, you're soft, so you stay soft. After you get to know the piece and you're comfortable with it, if you want to get a little louder and softer in places, go for it. Just stay in the soft area. But that's interpreting the music. You're feeling the music. If you feel it getting a little louder, go for it. For instance, here, I might want to get louder here. And now. And then at the end, I'm coming way down there. You need to feel the music, like the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm exaggerating it so you can hear it better, but you just want to feel these as you go through. And before you start, the pulse is going at some speed. This is Largo, which is slow. You'll have to decide. Slow doesn't work really, really well on a piano. It works better with an orchestra because they can sustain their notes. With a piano, you play the note and it just dies away. But don't go too slow. It needs to flow here. Please don't copy me. That's just one way of playing it. If I played it again, I'd probably play it a little different because I experiment with the dynamics, the louds and softs. Yeah. Let's play this together slowly, probably about the speed it goes, actually, just to make sure you got the right notes and rhythms. And I'm not doing the louds and softs. I'm just playing the notes. We're just checking notes and rhythms. So I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go.